Yeah, you gotta keep walking. Piper says, let's move, let's move. What's going on? Gary's vacation's almost over.
Oh, ooh.
There's wide awake Denise.
I am wide awake.
Okay, here we are.
Finishing up.
We're hot.
It got hot. It started out nice, then the heat came.
I'm glad we went a little earlier, not too
Yes.
much, but
Any little bit helps.
5 minutes makes a difference, we've found.
Well, I think we were 15 minutes earlier.
And that's true. Alrighty, I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Well, good morning. Today is Friday, July 17th. I had to think for a minute because I forgot to change my calendar thing on the inside. I just got out of the shower, so my hair is still wet. But we have a birthday today. Today is Rosie Vila's birthday. So Rosie gets a song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rosie. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. See, I'm not driving. I'm on the passenger side because we're waiting for Jim because he's, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. We get in the car. Oh, I don't have my sunglasses. So now he's back in the house. He's used to being in the Army, so he thinks that I have to hurry up and wait. That's the Army motto, hurry up and wait. But Jim was in an accident this morning. He's fine. But the truck we think is totaled. So we're on our way over there. So I told him that Jake from Allstate, I had to call him and say, he's messing with my discount. Because he's messing with my discount. So we got to go pick up all of the stuff from his truck because the appraiser seems to think that it's going to be totaled. Because Jim's truck is a 2010?
Yeah.
2010. I was next in line to get a car. I was supposed to get the next vehicle.
But I decided it's easier to crash than to let her get a car.
Yeah, so. And we take Jim's truck everywhere anyhow, so it only stands to reason that he'd be the one getting the new vehicle, I guess. But we're just not, we got to wait to see what they're going to do. But we have to go get his stuff out of the car. They told us to clear out the car and get the license plates and all of that stuff, so I kind of think they think it's going to be totaled.
Oh, you know what? I better grab a screwdriver.
Well, once he opened the car door, then that turned the phone off. Anyway, I said I was not in the Army, but I am used to the hurry up and wait because Jim is like, hurry up and let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. And see, the thing is, our whole married life is if we ever went anywhere, I always had to take my shower first because Jim takes forever. He's like, he's worse than a woman. Don't tell him I said that. Shh, don't tell him I said that. But he is worse than a woman. He takes forever and a day. If we're going to go on a trip or something, Jim will get up. And I'll say, give me a half an hour, and then just let me know. And he'll say, like, we're going to leave at 6:30. I said, then get me up at 6:20. He'll get up at, like, 5:30. And I'll get up at 6:20, and we're walking out the door at 6:30. We may be in the car. That doesn't mean we're going anywhere, though, because inevitably
Oh, I put it in the
he's going to go get something.
trunk.
So, anyway. So that kind of, I brought my water though. Look, I got my water. Got my water. So I'm going to drink my water and then when we get home I'll have something to eat. But it's early enough. Jim doesn't like my car anyhow. He says it's too small.
What gives you that idea?
He has a little bit of difficulty getting in.
But once I'm in,
Yeah, we're all
I'm
set.
fine.
Now he's got to readjust all the mirrors.
Oh, you want me to get into another crash?
Although when David borrows my car, he does the mirrors, he does the radio, he does the air
seats.
conditionings, he does the seats,
The steering
the
wheel.
steering wheel, he does the backrest. I mean, it's like everything. And then he always leaves garbage, always. But I love him, you know that. So, all right, well, we're going to be going. I have to let you go now. We'll come back later on, let you know what's going on with our day. But it seems like it's going to be a busy day. And Anita over at Chit Chat Paddywhack, I'm going to see Oliver tomorrow. And I'll make sure I give him Oliver's channel, and I'll have him subscribe over to Oliver. So the two Olivers will be, what do you call it, subscribers to each other. They'll be buds. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.
I forget what I was... Oh, yeah.
Here's
The
Jim's
guy
truck.
that hit me, he had one of those small Ford trucks.
And here's the side.
And it ripped his driver's side front wheel right off the car. Exactly.
It looks pretty bad.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Your mother's taking videos right now. So I'll have her
send me a
send
picture.
I'll have her send you the video.
All right. I love you.
I love you too.
All right.
Bye.
This side looks as good as new. Okay, I don't want to say Jim's got a lot of unuseful crap in his car, but tell us what this is, Jim.
Can anybody guess what this is? Well, if you can't guess, it's a bear penis.
Only Jim would have that in his truck.
I got this from when I went bear hunting in, where was I at? In Quebec. Many years ago.
That's when the freezer died and the bear died in the freezer.
Yep. And at the hunting camps, what they do with these, they obviously sterilize them and clean them up a little bit better than this, but they use them as stirrers for coffee and drinks.
No, thank you.
They clean them a little better.
Okay, I don't want to say Jim's a hoarder, but look at my trunk was completely empty. And it's all full of his crap. Oh my goodness, this has been a long day. But I stayed on plan. I'm exhausted. His truck looks pretty bad, doesn't it? We think it's going to be totaled, but there was another adjuster from another insurance company that was out there looking at cars, and he came over and saw us, and he was looking at the car. And he says, it's pretty close. It looks pretty close to being totaled because it's a 2010, so it's a 10-year-old truck. And so then we went and to look for another truck. Sticker shock. It's been a while since we bought that truck. I think when we bought that truck we bought it used, but we bought it in 2015. It was 5 years old, and we paid $26,000. Jim seems to think he wants a new truck. No. And the cheapest one we could find was it's a new truck, but it's like last year's truck, if that makes any sense. Obviously with the quarantine, they have a lot of stock. And but even with that, I think it was $42,000. I was like, I remember when my mother bought our first house, it was $15,500, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, we're spending $15,000 for a house." It's like, when I bought my house, we paid $240,000, which I thought was ridiculous at the time, but it's worth more now. But I don't know. I don't know how people can afford things nowadays. I really don't. It's unbelievable how much stuff costs. It's beyond me. But anyway, so we looked at a couple cars and trucks, and his only criteria was he doesn't want a black truck, because he's had a black truck since 1996. So he says, I've had enough black trucks. And so the guy says, well, I got a really good deal on a black truck. And Jim says, unless you're going to give it to me, I don't want it, because I don't want a black truck. So he was looking at a white truck. I don't know. A white truck looks like you just forgot to paint it. I don't know. But he told him that his first choice would be like a maroon, his second choice would be a blue, his third choice would be a silver gray, then a metallic gray, and then he was done. Black is not even on the list unless it's for free. And then he says if he got one for free, he'd sell it, get the money, and then buy a new truck. Anyway, and now he's talking about leasing. I don't like leasing either, because I think leasing is just like throwing money away. I think it works if you have a business and you can write it off as a business expense. But you put all that money down, you pay all those payments, and then after 2 years you turn it in and you don't have another one. But I know how Jim thinks. You've been married for 49 years, and you've been with him for 54. You know how he thinks. His thinking is, if I get like a 2 or 3 year lease, that means that in 2 or 3 years I can get another new truck. I know that's what he's thinking. I know that. I just know that. But anyway, we had when we went into the one dealership, I give credit to the people that are salespeople, because they try to make you feel like you're their long lost best friend. And so the one guy was waiting on us, and he says, well, have you ever been here before? And then Jim said, yeah, well, I was here years ago and bought a used car from this guy. He was really, really slow. He was just really slow. And he says, I would never go back to him, because he was just, not slow mentally, just slow, like, I have to be here, so you're going to be here. I'm in no hurry to wait on you because, I got to be here for 8 hours anyhow, so you might as well be here for 8 hours. So it took us forever to get this truck last time when we went. But anyway, him and the girl and the next lady or whatever in the next booth, they said, oh, you must be talking about, I'm going to make up a name, Bill. And he says, yeah, that sounds familiar. And I go, yeah, it does sound familiar. And then Jim pointed to the lady and said, yeah, you look familiar. I think you sold my wife her car. And I bought my car back in 2010, which was 10 years ago. And so she says, oh, really? And so then we sit down at this guy's desk, and then he asked him what his last name was because he was going to look up our history from buying trucks or cars there. And she must have done the same thing when she heard the last name. And then she comes around and she says, oh, Sandra, I remember you. Okay, you don't remember me. I know you don't remember me because the first thing I point out to people is even though my name is Sandra, I want to be called Sandy. So if you truly, truly remembered me, you would have known. You would have said, oh, Sandy, I remember when I sold you your car. She heard our last name. She got on that little computer and typed it up. But props to her because that's a good salesperson. That is a good salesperson doing that. I know that. But anyway, so But anyway, so we went there and we looked at a couple other places, and then I had to go to the bank because I've never heard of this, but I'm helping David out. David's trying to establish credit, so he got a credit card from one of the credit card companies, a secured credit card, from one of the companies that Credit Karma had recommended. And so David got his card, and then as soon as he got his card, he made a payment right away to pay for the fee, because there's a fee that you had to pay. He had to put money down, but then they charged him a fee too, so he paid the fee thinking that he wasn't going to charge anymore, but then he decided to charge again because he lost his debit card, and so then he charged everything on the credit card. So when the bill came in, he completely paid the bill off, so he has a zero balance. Now he paid this off on July 3rd. He paid his account off. His account is on hold now because they said he needs to send proof of his checking account. Now, he's not asking them for them to take it out automatically. He's paying it, like online himself. And so we got on the phone and we were talking to somebody the other day, and they kept saying, well, we have to verify that it's really your account. I'm thinking, what difference does it make if it's his account or not? If you're getting paid the money, I think that's the whole point of building your credit. The only thing I can think of is they want to make sure that somebody else isn't opening the card for him and making the payments. That's the only thing I can think of. Anyway, so they sent him an email. He mailed the payment on the 2nd of July. He got an email on the 5th of July telling him that he needed to send proof. So we sent him a copy of we emailed them a copy of his bank statement and explained that he doesn't have checks, he only has a debit card, and so we sent that to them. And then maybe 3 days later, they sent us another email. We're still waiting for you to scan us the information. So David scanned it again. And now we're doing this all from home, from our computer. So we scanned it again. And then a couple days later, we get another letter from them saying, I'm sorry, but we're still waiting for this email confirmation. Fax it to this number. So we went up to Staples and we tried to fax it 3 times, and the number kept coming back, not a true number, no such number or something like that. Oh, that sounds like a song. No such number. Anyway, tried to call the credit company. You can't talk to a person. It's just there's no people. There's just no people on it at all. It's computerized. No matter what number you push, it just comes to a recording. So there's no address to mail it to either. So we decided to make another copy, and we mailed it to the actual where you make if you pay your bill. I'll be right back. Anyway, I forgot where I was at. But anyway, I get rambling on. So anyway, we went. Finally, we called again today, and we actually got a person, and we explained our dilemma, and they said, "Well, we still haven't got it. We can't read it." So we went to the bank to have them fax over or whatever from the bank. No, they don't do that anymore. They said because of the COVID thing, I don't know if it's just another line, but with so many scams going on that they don't do interbank things with account numbers. So we got a printout sheet from them plus a letter from them, a cover letter saying that yes, he does have an account with them. And then we went to Staples and scanned it and emailed it to them again. So I don't know. And then the bad thing is they reported, since his payment was due on the 2nd, when they reported it, even though he has a zero balance and it shows that it's a zero balance, they reported it as closed, even though the account is still open. They said because it's pending, waiting for this thing, they listed as closed on your credit report. So David's credit rating dropped 45 points. 45 points. I'm thinking, why? I don't know. It's like we're trying to build up his credit, and this one company, Green Dot. Don't ever get a Green Dot credit card, because I still think it's a scam. I looked it up on Credit Karma and it said okay. I looked it up on Better Business Bureau and it said it was okay. They say they're legitimate. I don't know. I mean, the credit card works, but it doesn't work now because he only got to do it for one payment, one thing. It's like, I don't know. It's just, I think it's a scam. But, any hooser. But anyway, my theme for today is hurry up and wait. And that's why I'm saying I'm waiting to reach my goal. I stayed on plan today, even with all the stress of everything that was going on. I didn't choose poorly, although it was very easily. I could have chose poorly. And I'll be honest with you, I'm getting tired of waiting. I really am getting tired of waiting. But I'm not going to give up. I'm still going to wait. And if it takes a while, it takes a while. And that's all I can say. It's just... it's been a long wait, but it's, like the longer you wait for something, the more you appreciate it when it finally arrives. Like any package from Amazon nowadays, it finally arrives and you think it's finally came. So it's always something, I'm telling you. But, gonna have hopefully a good weigh-in tomorrow. I'm hoping to lose at least a pound. I think I did well enough this week to lose a pound. Even with my Chinese, I think I did well enough for a pound. I don't think I'm asking for too much. And we'll have to wait till Monday, since Jim had his accident on a Friday. That he says he wasn't to blame, but he was turning left on, I think I told you this already, but he was turning left on a yellow light. I said, you were to blame. And he says, no, I wasn't. I go, you were to blame. You were turning left on a yellow light. Then he said it was pink. I said, even more reason that you were to blame. So anyway, and the icebox cake thing, so good. Really, it was really good. If you saw that video that I did, I mean, I kind of screwed it up. I should have put the fudge bars the opposite way that I did, but other than that, it did taste like a banana split to me. It was really, really good. It is definitely something that I'm looking forward to having tomorrow for my lunch. I eat light on Fridays, you know that, but tomorrow I plan on having another piece because it was good. Unless Jim's eating any more of it, because Jim liked it. I knew he would, but okay, I'm done babbling. I've been ranted on and I'm not really talking about anything about my weight, but sometimes, just... I can tell you a really quick story before I leave. Is when Jim and I were dating, my father had gotten me from my, when I started college, he got me a car. It was a 61 Plymouth Fury. It had push buttons for the transmission. You didn't even put it in gear. You just pushed the P for park or the D for drive or whatever. And when Jim was home on leave one time, I didn't like driving back then either. So he used to always just take the car and bring it back to his house and then come back in the morning and we'd do whatever we were going to do when he was on leave. And he called me one time in the middle of the night and he said, well, I'm going to have to come and, he called me Hun Bun. He said, well, Hun Bun, I'm going to have to come over and pick you up. And I go, it's the middle of the frippin' night. He said, well, your car is sitting on Mr. and Mrs. Kansky's front lawn, almost on their porch. And I went, what? Somebody was coming home and they fell asleep at the wheel and rammed into the front end of my car and shoved it up the front lawn, up onto almost onto the Kansky's porch. And so I had all the registration. I don't know why we didn't, you know, you're young, you don't think about those things. I had to go there to prove that it was my car and for the insurance, for the, you know, them to tow it away and all that stuff. And obviously that car was totaled too. Once again, Jim was to blame. Another time, he had, and this is the first time with his car now that I'm thinking about it, because before he went into the service, he did have a car, and he sold it to his sister Barb because his parents said he didn't need a car when he was away, going to be away for 2 years anyhow, and Barb needed a car, so he sold the car to Barb. And he was driving me to work in Barb's car, and he ran a stop sign, and we got slammed under the side, and that car got totaled too. I'm noticing a pattern. I'm noticing a pattern. Okay, now I'm done. So if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, leave a comment, hit that like button, and share it, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.